Hello, my hosts. I'm back again to play some more Kerbal Space Program. Now, those of you who were watching the day before yesterday will know that I have made it to the moon. And you'll also know that after a successful landing there, I had left my wonderful Kerbin on the surface, not quite knowing if we're going to be able to get back. Because while I've done all the mathematics for it, the mathematics can't factor in my poor piloting skills. So, we are going to find out if I've got the skills and the talent to return to Kerbin. Hi, Mech Builder. You've caught me just as I've started. Just a second. Let's adjust that like that. My day has been terrific. I had I woke up, had a good breakfast, had a good lunch, and now I get to play one of my favourite games while nice people keep me company, hopefully. Okay. That's where the... Yes. So, down we go. Up. Happy 2022 to you as well. Plant flag. Yay. Dedicated to and since you were here, I might dedicate this landing to you. EVA report. Keep that experiment. Very true. Remove the data. And I am collecting all the data off of these. Oh, take data. These ones, because all of these sensors and whatever I've mounted on the outside of the ship, and these pads are going to be dropped as we launch. Right, now a lot of these ones I also forgot to activate when I was inside the ship, but that is very exciting. And I forgot to bring a probe to dig up moon rocks, so I can't do that mission today. Video report. Now, excellent, that's great news. I'm assuming you enjoy Kerbal Space Program. What do I shoot? Where's the... Ah, that's it. Anyway. Ah, excellent. It is a very good game. It teaches you a lot about physics. Oh, tests your mechanical abilities. And gives you something to do that is quite fun. Store experiments in there. And the next thing we do is get back in our ship. Come on. Grab. And board. Because I'm a complete coward, I'm going to save before we launch. So let's have a look at the place where we are. So we're going to launch east and try and get into a nice little orbit around the surface. Ah, that is a nice idea. But at the moment, oh, What the? That wasn't what I wanted to do. The moment I want to play in career mode, hi for Pi GM. How are you? Anyway. Right. Yeah. Doing at the moment. I am quite good. I've had a nice lunch. And I'm playing a fun game. Nothing has gone drastically wrong yet. Yeah. Anyway, the idea of getting into such a low orbit at the moment is that the lower the orbit is, the faster I move, which makes the engines more efficient, strangely enough. Let's do our little circularization orbit when we get down to T minus 3 seconds. Okay. And I'm keeping an eye on my aphoapsis and my periapsis. Once I get so close. Yep. It can do that. The advantage of having the gravity well is it'll actually accelerate you, and you can do gravity assist maneuvers. Because you can use the planet's gravity and its momentum to make you move without having to actually spend fuel. What I'm doing here, so I want to get below, oh, we'll just get it fine-tuning the altitude. Ah. It can be tricky. With this spaceship, the last time I streamed, took me 2 or 3 tries with a couple of really spectacular failures. Anyway, what I want to do is get the ship returning towards the Earth deep enough to enter the atmosphere, but not so deep that we burn up on re-entry. Because that would not be good for us. In fact, it would be much the opposite of good. Just gonna switch that to there to assist. Yep. Where is the planet? There it is. Come across. Oh, it's going to be all in the dark side. Oh, there we are. Oh, and a nice sunrise. Anyway, we're going into another maneuver very shortly. There's Mun in the background, Kerbal in the background, the Earth equivalent. And right. Give it a little thrust to enable our maneuvering. We get in there. Get onto the maneuver node. Settle down. And we wait until we get right. And we can actually fast forward time a bit. We'll do our next burn at about 4 seconds. Here we go. And we overshoot it again. That's typical for me and my poor piloting. Oops. And I've gone and overshot slightly. And for some reason we've also ran out of fuel, but oh dear. We have overshot quite a lot. Just I'm going to make sure that this is the case. Just kill that. Yeah. That's going to end poorly. Because we're going to crash into the planet rather than doing a proper re-entry. So let's get back to that quick save. Huh. So we are back on the planet again. Fully fueled. Rest empty. Anyway, we're going to try our launch off of the Mun again. And this time we'll save it in orbit. Hold on. Just want to check that we have all the science in. Yep. So, up we go. We lean over. Just get rid of them because they're extra weight that we don't need. Not sure why we don't have anything way to control the spin. So from here we add a maneuver to make the orbit circle. Ah, there we go. I'm going to probably be streaming for an hour or maybe an hour and a half. Depends on how much energy I have. Yeah. Now we just orbit again. Okay, that's all above. Yeah, just want to adjust this slightly as well. Yeah, anyway, I am going to be attempting to go for about an hour. A little bit more than that. And when that hour's passed, I'll see what else is going to go on. Okay. Nice complete orbit there. For you 4Pi, I'll try and be on as long as I can. But there's, hold on. Oh yeah, I've shut down the engine. So we are heading back. Let's just save that orbit now as well, so we don't have to retry that over again. So So it's saying we want to get this return orbit so that the deepest part of it is inside the atmosphere about 62. About that deep, 45 kilometers deep. If we are down that much, we can use the atmosphere to absorb some of our energy and slow us down, but we're not so deep that we end up crashing into the earth or burning up. So let's do a little bit of a time warp. To get to reactivate the engine. Bit of thrust, just a tiny bit, to allow us to reorient ourselves. And let's say 4 seconds for that, and then let's go. And another case where we have to be careful for just a little bit more, and that's nice. Okay, let's save this again, because again I am a massive coward. So I don't think so. I think after this mission, what I would like to do is do a bit of more research and see if I can unlock some more of the technology, so I can go to some of the other planets that are further out. And I'm going to add a maneuver, fast forward to here. Changes. Yeah. I have basically the first 3 tiers of tech, which are not the best all told, but so So we're going to come in here. We're going to burn a little bit so that we are facing into the atmosphere. Thank you. Okay. Now it's going to just a little bit. Let's get rid of you before you burn up. There's not much more I can do. Yeah, it's perfectly okay. I can't keep you here. But anyway, we are re-entry. There's our heat shield, which hasn't burnt off at all, which is good. We've got plenty of heat shield remaining on our heat shield, for want of a better term. And we're slowing down quite nicely as well, even though we are going at about 2.5 kilometers a second. Let's just see where we are. Oh, so we're going to end up in the ocean just outside of the main place. Okay, let's hide the alarm clock. And things slow down. As things... that's a little... Oh no, we're going to land. Sometimes if you don't come in deep enough, you end up bouncing off the top of the atmosphere, which means you have to keep going around and around and around again. And I thought this time we might have bounced, but we got deep enough that we didn't bounce, and we had a nice re-entry. So that is good. And we are going to start accelerating slightly. No, we're still slowing down, still burning off our orbital energy. Yeah. Actually, not yesterday, but the day before, we had a interesting encounter around here. My housemate, part of my family, who I live with, was riding his push bike home. And this is going to give a very big clue about where I live. A kangaroo jumped out onto the path in front of him, which meant he had to brake suddenly. And since it had been raining, the back wheel lost traction and the bike fell down and he skidded off the path into the ground. So we had to take care of him a bit. Thankfully it was just a scraped leg and a bit of bruising, so he's fine. But it's also, yep, he's fine. He's up and moving and everything. He was quite lucky that the police were right behind him after he fell off, so they checked him and made sure that he was okay. But the bike will need to be fixed because the front brakes and the gears got damaged, so we'll have to repair them later. And we're slowing down. The shock cone is no longer turning red. It's turning white. So soon we will be deep enough into the atmosphere where the parachute will work. Ah, there we go. Now we can deploy the parachute. That's cool. What's that up there? That's a bit of our ship that fell off. Yeah. What's curious is what I actually discovered. When a spaceship re-enters, all of that fire you see and all of the heat from the re-entry isn't from friction. What's happening is the air is being compressed so hard that the compression causes it to heat up. And that's what generates that whole plasma trail. Yeah. And now we have a nice steady descent, which I'm going to fast forward through so we get back to the surface. Yeah. Flailed out. Yep. Coming in for a nice, stable, slow landing. Splash down onto the planet. Wonder if we can get a crew report from here. I think we've already gotten a crew report. No. Yeah. Down, 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 down. Go. Okay. So, recovering the vessel. And we are back. Let's see what people say. We got a crew report from Northwest Crater, EVA report, mystery goo, atmospheric pressure, mystery goo, atmospheric pressure, recovery of vessel from the Mun. In total we got 236 science, which is going to unlock a lot of our new advances. few parts recovered. 5 XP gained. That's awesome. That will unlock new abilities for this Kerbal, which will help further compensate my piloting. Okay. World first milestones. We've walked on the surface of the Mun. We've planted a flag on the surface of the Mun. We've... That's curious. We have initiated the first flyby of the sun. I don't recall doing that, but I'll take it. We've returned home from the surface of the Mun. We've returned home from the orbit. Excellent. Contract complete. We have planted a flag on the Mun. The things we haven't done is we didn't bring a stone back from the Mun because I think we've got to equip the guys with extra equipment to allow that. But we can do that on our next mission that goes there. So, let's see if any useful things have been unlocked. Okay. This one's a freebie. You can do that, right? Depending on what we unlock, we can do this one as well. So, let's see what science we can unlock now. We got 300. Now, the things I really wanted was all of these cones and the protective shell, so get that. And also want to get hold of the it's the grabbing unit, the docking stuff. And where is the stuff that allows us to do docking? This I definitely want. Drop out. RCS ports as well. So grab that. And the RCS ports. And finally, let's see. This is the one that's really good for interstellar or interplanetary missions, because it allows us to fly to the... It's very efficient. I also play Minecraft, and I've also played a bit of Magic the Gathering on stream. This the... I think this CVA experiments kit's the thing we need to get the soil probe. So that's something that we just don't have enough science for, unfortunately. Which is semi-ironic, because if we had gotten that one first, we could have probably unlocked the right. Now, let's do the rescue mission. Now, in order to do a rescue mission, let's take this ship. Because we already know this is a reliable ship. And make some changes. So, remove those because we need those for the landing. Because it's less heavy now. Let's get rid of those as well. But this is not going to be able to pilot itself. So we'll stick the remote, we'll stick a robot on it to be able to give it ability to... Or do we want to do a crew cabin and stick some extra... Yeah, let's use a crew cabin. Because if we get the crew cabin working properly, it means that we can use it for putting civilians on. Aerodynamics, and we want more parachutes, which are under utilities. So, I want to make sure that things are not covered. And there we go. So right. That is cool. So one of the things I want to check first is the thrust to rate ratio. That should be over 1, or otherwise the ship won't launch itself. And we can get rid of that now. Don't need a robot to control it. We've got perfectly fine people. And after I actually just want to check this. The other thing I want to check is the centre of mass, which is still a bit high, but there's nothing much we can do about that. Okay. Rename this one because it's a new ship, and I've realized that now we've unlocked some of the more advanced technology. Fuel tanks, we now have monopropellant. Let's just engines. Where is that classified under? Unfortunately, they keep moving stuff around, or I keep forgetting it. Command and control, of course. That also gives us a bit of mass. Move that down there. Yeah. The idea of getting the mass as low as possible is that it improves stability on re-entry. We want the bigger ones. Okay. That's our spaceship. Crew. We're going to have Jeb in there. Now these random tourists got put in there through some sort of bug. But I'm thinking, why not give them a trip? See what happens. Okay. So right. I do have the 2 DLCs, and why don't you put 2 sideways fuel tanks to reduce the... I'm not sure what you mean by the com, or pie. Okay. Oh, center of mass. Yeah. As you see, I did actually move the yep. actually grab that contract? Yep, cool. So probably should have checked what the orbit of the orbit of the person I'm trying to rescue is, but we'll just try a standard launch profile. Hopefully that will get us close enough to flipping over and crashing into the ground. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, doing a nice steady climb. Yeah, you would be my third sub. Gaining altitude. Up. Keep going up. A nice trajectory. Anyway, so separation. Ah! What is this? This one really does not want to play nice, does it? Just wants to fight me all the way. Okay. So, gaining more altitude. Will I lose control with this next separation? Let's have a look. That's better. Yeah, you're probably right, 4pi. Yep. And there's the ship we are meant to that's a bad sign. See that red there, that means we don't have enough fuel to do this maneuver. Let's revert to vehicle assembly. What we can do is we can get around that, because we only need a little bit more torque because we're not going on a full interplanetary exploration. Actually, which is the... That's that stack separator. We can do that later. That's the big one. I don't want the big one, I want the little one. Switch to a pair. And we can stick a pair of solid fuel boosters on here, which should give us more no, this one. Actually, wanted to grab this, not that. It is. It's one of the advantages of being a rather small streamer, that you can get to talk to people. Aerodynamics. Yep. So stick bracing on there to give us more stability. Yeah. And trust the sequencing. So everything fires at the start. We lose those ones, then those ones, then that one. Yep, that's good. Okay. For a second there I thought it was a bit lopsided, but I'm wrong. Okay, save that. Let's go for a launch. Okay, that. Controls are fine. Let's just reset the pitch. I don't know what day of the week it is. It might be Friday for you. Up we go. Throttle back because we're flying off. Of solid fuel boosters. We want a slight lean at the start. Increasing our thrust, and 8 kilometers up, 9, 10. See, I don't think we need more thrust. I think we need more stability. And you're right, 4Pi, a big factor in our stability is our centre of mass. So, you look at here, as each part comes off, that centre of mass shifts. And any torque that we have gets transferred. So, things we can do. Right. Oops. Now, not sure if you can hear that in the background. Alarm going off. And that means I need to take a short break. But I am not going away. I just have to take care of something. So, I'll just walk away and deal with that first. And I'm back. Okay. Right. So what we're going to do is replace the fixed winglets with the ones that have control elements in it. And the intent of that is to give us better control as we are maneuvering. So let's give that a try. I'm just going to move myself a bit to the left so I don't get in the way of the pilot portrait. Right. Let's go. Okay, throttling back. Bit of a lean, not too much. Ourselves to gain some altitude. Okay. Let's just check some other aspects. Okay. That's definitely directly underneath there. I'm also wondering if it's just the poor aerodynamics of this section. So what I can now do, let's see if we can repair that. Is coupling, payload, it's under payload, yep. That's the other one I want. Of course, he's got all these knobbly bits that stick out. I'm wondering if it's affecting the airflow around the vessel. So Why aren't you? Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Okay. So, again, throttling back. Okay. Just flying up. Kilometers up. This one's behaving far more reasonably now. Okay, let's throttle back. And at this point, add a maneuver to circularize our orbit. We want to be about like that. Yeah, that's about what we want. And okay. We have to recircularize as quickly as possible. Okay. Turned out to be a bit more stable. because having the fairings on there meant there was less air resistance at the top, and the air resistance was the thing that was dragging it out of proper alignment. I'm not sure if you heard that. That was just me eating a little bit. Okay. Okay. And we are coming back. Oh dear. We are re-entering. That is not what we want. Nope. Yeah. The thing is, it's kind of difficult to reduce the torque. I'd want the survival rate to be a bit better than 50-50. Because at 50-50, that means in half of all the possible worlds, I would have made the wrong decision. And while going to space is really cool, so is being alive to enjoy the experience. And one of the things I really enjoy is experiencing things, which I would not be able to do if I was no longer alive. Okay. So let's do the other trick that we did before with this one. Give ourselves a lot of room or getting ourselves into our circular orbit. Start leading ourselves over even more aggressively. Okay, there we go, 100. That's even. Cells ready for there. Right. So, getting a full burn now. So, once again, accelerating up to orbital velocity in order to get a stable orbit. Since the spaceship we're trying to rendezvous with is behind us, we want to have an orbit that is higher up, because the higher the orbit, the slower that it is, the more slow it is. So the slower orbit that is below us will catch up with us. And cannot delete. That was a weird error message. Okay. Right. Set as our target. Okay. So the distance is rather large there. So what we can do is add a quick maneuver that will increase the size of our orbit with the intent of getting us to be slower and allowing the spaceship that is behind us to catch up. Okay. Right. So we'll have a nice quick First of thrust. Now I want to zero ourselves onto the planet. It's easier to watch the I want to watch it get nice and close, but not overtake. And that's close enough. So oh, that's going to be good. Okay. So we get that. Adjust ourselves onto that thing. Do a bit of a time warp. Okay. Right. Now, this one says will be 30. This one says would be 24. So, this mission is about see this ship Rescue 1? That contains another pilot who's stuck in space. And our mission is to rendezvous with that spacecraft and rescue the guy from space, basically. So what we're doing now is cancelling our relative velocity. It's on mostly a circular orbit. And ourselves up. And we lost it slightly. The way we do this final maneuvering is basically zeroing out our relative velocity and then getting ourselves physically as close to possible. It gets tricky. Yeah, in theory it's simple. Practice is... Because if you notice, the thing about you match the orbit, but you've got to match every parameter of the orbit. Actually, and if you notice, I lost the there we go. This thing here's where our next closest intersection will be. And I'd lost it before, so just 45. See you, Mick. $21, $20. Okay. Now, there it is. There's the engine. Actually, going to eject that. Switch on RCS. Docking mode. Not what I want to do, shut down. Flip between, yep, cool. So, do. Oop. Controls for the lights. So actually the engines. Just burn off the final bit of relative velocity. We are 28 kilometers away. Which means it'll mean that we'll be traveling towards him slower, but it's easier to manage that way. And switch off that. Switch off that. We just want to... What? And now we're re-entering. That's not what we wanted to happen. The game doesn't have multiplayer, unfortunately. Actually, oof. Don't actually... This is just not going to work this way. So... let's... I think we're going to have to revert back to launch. What we'll do is we'll just let this do its re-entry and cancel. Actually, we don't do that. We'll load the save. Actually, revert back to launch. And we'll do it again, but I think we'll do that next time we play Kerbal Space Program, because I've been streaming for a little over 2 hours, or almost 2 hours, and again running a little bit down on energy, and I have to do some chores at home to help with the house. Yeah, I think it is enough for today. So I'll save. Quick to main menu. And back to my room. Anyway, it was great fun being with you two and having a good game. So, gonna have a nice stretch, probably a little bit of food, a little bit of drink, chat to some of the people in my house, and see everybody later. Bye 4GM. Bye Mac Builder if you're still here with this.